Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Venom, 2018, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. From the very first frame, this film grabs you by the throat, literally, plunging into a shadowy world where the boundaries between human and alien blur, and the question of identity becomes as monstrous as the creatures at its center. It is a story that intertwines science fiction, action, and dark comedy in a way that challenges traditional superhero conventions, offering a glimpse into a universe where the hero is as flawed and conflicted as the villain. This is a tale not just of power and transformation, but of an uneasy coexistence within oneself, a battle raging inside as much as outside. At its core, the film follows Eddie Brock, a gritty investigative journalist whose life spirals out of control after a daring exposé lands him in professional and personal turmoil. Stripped of his job and his fiancée, Eddie stumbles into a clandestine world dominated by the sinister ambitions of a powerful corporation conducting secret experiments. It's here that he encounters the symbiote, an alien organism with a will and hunger of its own, an unpredictable force that fuses with Eddie's body, igniting a chaotic dance of survival, power, and identity. This union between man and symbiote forms the heart of the film's narrative and thematic complexity. Unlike the usual hero's journey, this is a partnership forged in conflict and compromise, where control is constantly negotiated and trust is hard-won. Eddie finds himself navigating a strange new existence, endowed with incredible strength and abilities but grappling with the alien consciousness sharing his mind and body. Their relationship is at once symbiotic and contentious, filled with sharp-witted banter and moments of genuine vulnerability. As the story unfolds, the film plunges us deeper into a world of corporate greed and scientific hubris. The shadowy Life Foundation, led by the enigmatic Carlton Drake, becomes the epicenter of ethical decay, pushing the limits of experimentation with disastrous consequences. The Foundation's creation of other symbiotes with far more violent and destructive tendencies raises the stakes, positioning Eddie and his reluctant partner against a threat that is as personal as it is global. Key elements of the story include Eddie's evolving relationship with the symbiote, the exploration of identity and self-control, and the high-octane battles that bring the alien entities into violent confrontation. The film deftly balances moments of dark humor with visceral action, crafting a tone that is equal parts thrilling and irreverent. The dynamic between Eddie and the symbiote offers not only comic relief but a nuanced look at duality and the struggle for harmony within chaos. Major twists come as the Life Foundation's darker motives are unveiled, and as Eddie discovers the true potential and peril of his newfound abilities. The arrival of Riot, a powerful and malevolent symbiote intent on domination, sets the stage for a climactic showdown that tests the limits of Eddie's courage and the tenuous alliance within. The film's tension escalates through a series of confrontations that blend spectacular visual effects with a surprisingly grounded emotional core. Throughout, the narrative challenges conventional notions of heroism. Here, the protagonist is neither a flawless savior nor a typical anti-hero but a man caught in the flux of transformation, wrestling with forces beyond his control. The symbiote is both a source of power and a dangerous presence, embodying the themes of inner conflict and the complexity of self. This duality resonates throughout the film, inviting viewers to ponder what it truly means to be human, or something more. Visually, the film dazzles with its bold, kinetic energy. The symbiote's amorphous forms shift seamlessly between terrifying and strangely beautiful, crafted with cutting-edge effects that bring alien physiology to vivid life. The design of the symbiotes captures their otherworldly nature, their dark tendrils writhing with both menace and intelligence. Action sequences pulse with adrenaline, grounded by intimate character moments that prevent the spectacle from overwhelming the story's emotional heartbeat. The soundtrack complements this energy with a pulse-pounding mix of driving beats and atmospheric tones, enhancing the film's urban grit and sci-fi undercurrents. The score underscores both the chaotic external battles and the internal struggles, weaving a sonic narrative that mirrors the protagonist's journey through turmoil and self-discovery. At its essence, this is a film about the collision of worlds, human and alien, control and chaos, isolation and connection. It invites us into the shadowy spaces where identity is fragmented and reassembled, where power demands sacrifice, and where survival hinges on unexpected alliances. It's a story that entertains while probing questions of who we are when faced with forces that challenge our very nature. If you're ready to dive into a world where darkness and humor collide, where monsters lurk not only outside but within, and where the fight for selfhood is as fierce as any battle for justice, then this film promises a thrilling ride. Join me as we unravel the layers beneath the surface, exploring the narrative twists, thematic depths, and cinematic marvels that make this a unique entry in the superhero genre. So buckle up and prepare for a deep dive into a story that challenges, excites, and surprises, because what unfolds is more than just a fight between man and alien. It's a journey into the heart of transformation itself. The story begins by drawing us into the bustling streets of San Francisco, a city alive with energy but also shadowed by hidden dangers and unseen forces. Here, Eddie Brock lives a life marked by ambition and determination. He is a sharp, dogged investigative journalist, hungry for a story that will expose corruption and shake the foundations of power. Eddie's drive is fueled not just by professional pride but by a personal quest for truth, a desire to hold those in control accountable no matter the risks. Eddie's life, however, is far from smooth sailing. His recent exposé targeting the Life Foundation, a cutting-edge biotech company with a glossy public face but dark secrets beneath, sets off a chain reaction that threatens everything he holds dear. The article, initially his ticket to redemption and acclaim, backfires spectacularly. The Life Foundation launches a counterattack, discrediting Eddie and destroying his reputation. Lost his job, his credibility shattered, and his fiancée and slipping away, Eddie finds himself spiraling, adrift in a world that suddenly seems hostile and unforgiving. The film immerses us in Eddie's mounting desperation and vulnerability. Scenes of his unraveling life are imbued with a palpable sense of loss. His home emptied of its warmth, the silence of rejection echoing louder than words. Yet beneath this personal crisis simmers a restless spark, a stubborn refusal to give up or be silenced. This sets the stage for the extraordinary turn of events that will redefine his existence. Eddie's investigative instincts lead him to the Life Foundation's secretive research facility, perched ominously in the hills beyond the city. Here, the narrative takes a darker, more mysterious turn. The film immerses us in Eddie's mounting desperation and vulnerability. Scenes of his unraveling life are imbued with a palpable sense of loss. His home emptied of its warmth, the silence of rejection echoing louder than words. Yet beneath this personal crisis simmers a restless spark, a stubborn refusal to give up or be silenced. This sets the stage for the extraordinary turn of events that will redefine his existence. Eddie's investigative instincts lead him to the Life Foundation's secretive research facility, perched ominously in the hills beyond the city. Here, the narrative takes a darker, more mysterious turn. The facility is a labyrinth of sterile corridors and shadowy chambers, where cutting-edge science borders on the arcane. Within these walls, the Life Foundation pursues an experiment unlike any other, the fusion of human hosts with symbiotic alien organisms discovered on a distant planet. These creatures possess incredible power but demand complete control, raising profound ethical and existential questions. It is in this crucible that Eddie's fate intertwines with that of an alien symbiote. During a covert infiltration into the facility, he becomes the unintended host of this enigmatic entity, an experience both terrifying and transformative. The symbiote's initial emergence is a chaotic, visceral moment, marked by black tendrils writhing over Eddie's skin, merging and reshaping his form. This physical transformation is accompanied by a profound psychological shift. The boundaries between Eddie and the alien blur as they forge a new, uneasy partnership. This fusion is portrayed with a blend of horror and dark humor, capturing the tension and absurdity of sharing a mind with a creature whose desires and impulses often clash with human sensibilities. Eddie's struggle to control the symbiote, and the symbiote's attempts to assert dominance, drive much of the early narrative's emotional and comedic energy. Their dynamic is marked by witty banter and reluctant cooperation, creating a unique duality that challenges traditional hero archetypes. Meanwhile, the Life Foundation's true ambitions begin to surface. Carlton Drake, the charismatic and visionary CEO, emerges as a figure both captivating and chilling. Driven by a messianic belief in the symbiote's potential to elevate humanity, Drake's ethical boundaries are dangerously blurred. His creation of multiple symbiotes, each with distinct and often violent personalities, sets the stage for escalating conflict. These creatures, unleashed on the world, threaten to upend the delicate balance between human and alien, control and chaos. The film deftly escalates tension through a series of confrontations between Eddie and the other symbiotes. The arrival of Riot, a powerful and malevolent entity bent on domination, introduces a formidable antagonist whose presence looms large over the unfolding events. Eddie's evolving bond with his own symbiote is tested as Riot seeks to recruit or destroy him, raising the stakes beyond personal survival to a battle for the fate of both worlds. Amid these escalating external threats, the film delves into themes of identity and duality. Eddie's internal struggle with the symbiote mirrors larger questions about self-control, coexistence, and the nature of power. Scenes depicting their shared mindscape offer glimpses into this psychological battleground, a place where conflict and cooperation intertwine in complex ways. These moments of introspection enrich the film's texture, balancing kinetic action with emotional depth. Supporting characters weave into this tapestry, grounding the narrative in human connections. And Eddie's fiancée embodies concern and love, her relationship strained yet resilient amid the chaos. Her interactions with Eddie reveal layers of vulnerability and strength, highlighting the personal costs of his transformation. Detective Patrick Mulligan, initially an adversary, becomes a key figure whose own fate intersects tragically with the symbiote crisis, adding further emotional weight. The film's urban settings, from high-rise offices to shadowed alleys, create a vivid backdrop for this drama. The cityscape reflects themes of entrapment and anonymity, where secrets fester beneath glass and steel. Contrasted with the alien symbiote's fluid, organic forms, these environments underscore the clash between human order and otherworldly chaos. As the plot advances, the narrative builds toward a crescendo of confrontation. Eddie, now embracing the symbiote as both weapon and companion, must confront Riot and the Life Foundation's sinister plans. The film weaves together high-stakes action sequences, marked by explosive battles and daring escapes, with moments of character revelation and moral reckoning. This blend keeps viewers engaged not just by spectacle but by the emotional journey underpinning the conflict. In this first part of the story, the film establishes its unique identity within the superhero genre. It challenges expectations by centering on an anti-hero who is flawed, conflicted, and often humorous. The symbiotic relationship at its core offers fresh explorations of power and control, while the looming threat of corporate hubris grounds the fantastical elements in pressing contemporary anxieties. Through dynamic storytelling and richly developed characters, this half of the film sets the stage for a gripping saga of survival and self-discovery. The tension between man and alien, between chaos and order, reverberates through each scene, creating a narrative that is as thought-provoking as it is thrilling. It is a journey into the heart of transformation, both terrifying and exhilarating, a story that demands to be seen not just as entertainment but as an exploration of what it means to wrestle with the forces within and without. The story's momentum builds relentlessly as Eddie Brock's uneasy alliance with the alien symbiote deepens, propelling both man and creature into a world where boundaries blur and stakes escalate beyond anything either could have anticipated. The initial chaos of fusion gives way to a precarious equilibrium, where Eddie learns to harness the symbiote's extraordinary abilities, his body now a living vessel of power, agility, and transformation. Yet, this newfound strength is shadowed by an ever-present tension. The symbiote's primal urges clash with Eddie's humanity, creating a volatile internal struggle that mirrors the external threats closing in fast. As the symbiote begins to reveal more of its nature and history, the film plunges us into a high-octane confrontation with the Life Foundation, the enigmatic biotech conglomerate whose experiments have unleashed a host of alien creatures onto the Earth. Carlton Drake, the charismatic yet chilling mastermind behind these endeavors, embodies a dangerous vision, one where evolutionary leap is pursued at the expense of ethics and humanity. His belief in the symbiote's potential to elevate mankind leads him down a path of ruthless experimentation and disregard for life, setting him firmly on a collision course with Eddie and his alien companion. One of the film's pivotal moments unfolds as Eddie discovers the horrifying extent of the Life Foundation's creations. Beyond the symbiote bonded to him, multiple other symbiotes have been engineered, each with unique, terrifying abilities and violent tendencies. Among them, Riot stands as the most formidable, an entity driven by domination, whose ambition is nothing less than to consume and conquer. This revelation transforms the narrative from a personal survival story into a broader battle for the future of both species, escalating the tension to an almost apocalyptic scale. The Life Foundation's facility becomes a fortress of bioengineered horrors, with high-tech laboratories housing these otherworldly beings. The contrast between sterile human technology and the symbiote's fluid, organic forms visually emphasizes the unnatural fusion of science and alien life, evoking themes of hubris and unintended consequences. Eddie's infiltration into this lair is fraught with danger as he navigates labyrinthine corridors, battles security forces, and confronts the unleashed fury of the symbiotes themselves. Throughout this escalation, the film maintains a careful balance between explosive action and the evolving relationship between Eddie and his symbiote. Their dynamic, rich with witty banter and moments of reluctant cooperation, adds levity and depth amid the chaos. These internal dialogues provide insight into their conflicting desires, the symbiote's hunger for power and freedom, Eddie's yearning for control and normalcy. This relationship humanizes the alien presence, transforming it from a mere monster into a complex character in its own right. The arrival of Riot as a physical adversary intensifies the stakes dramatically. Riot's ability to possess human hosts and transform at will makes him a shape-shifting nightmare, a mirror and foil to Eddie's own transformation. Their clashes are visually spectacular, blending fluid CGI with practical effects to create sequences that pulse with energy and menace. The battles are not only tests of strength but symbolic struggles over identity, control, and survival. Amid these high-stakes confrontations, the film weaves in moments of vulnerability and emotional truth. Eddie grapples with the consequences of his bond, strained relationships, public perception, and the threat of losing himself entirely to the symbiote. His connection with and, fraught with tension and care, offers glimpses of hope and humanity. These quieter scenes serve as emotional anchors, reminding viewers of the personal costs underlying the spectacle. As the narrative rushes toward its climax, the Life Foundation's ultimate plan unfolds: to use the symbiotes to rewrite evolution, to merge species and control the planet's future. Carlton Drake's hubris reaches its zenith as he attempts to merge with Riot, becoming a monstrous hybrid with terrifying power. This fusion raises the stakes beyond the personal to the existential, threatening not only Eddie and his symbiote but the fate of humanity itself. The climactic battle takes place against the backdrop of San Francisco's iconic cityscape, juxtaposing the alien chaos with a familiar urban environment. The conflict is choreographed with precision, combining fast-paced combat, dramatic transformations, and strategic ingenuity. Eddie and his symbiote must overcome overwhelming odds, drawing on their evolving partnership and newfound understanding to confront the monstrous Drake-Riot hybrid. This confrontation is a cinematic crescendo, a spectacle of destruction and heroism where every movement is charged with emotional and thematic significance. The battle scenes emphasize the duality of the protagonists, showcasing moments where the symbiote's raw power blends with Eddie's human ingenuity and resolve. The choreography and visual effects coalesce to create an immersive experience that is both thrilling and deeply personal. Amid the chaos, the film delivers pivotal plot twists that deepen the narrative complexity. Eddie's acceptance of the symbiote not as a curse but as a part of himself marks a turning point, symbolizing the reconciliation of human and alien, chaos and control. This internal acceptance empowers him to confront external threats with renewed strength and clarity. Simultaneously, the revelation of the symbiote's origins and motivations adds layers of cosmic mystery and philosophical inquiry to the story. The resolution unfolds with a mixture of catharsis and open-ended possibility. The defeat of the Life Foundation scheme restores a fragile balance, but the symbiotic relationship between Eddie and the alien remains, an enduring bond that hints at future challenges and transformations. The film closes with a tone that is neither purely triumphant nor entirely resolved, reflecting the ongoing struggle inherent in their coexistence. Visually, the finale is a masterclass in blending practical effects, CGI, and stunt work. The destruction wrought upon the city is rendered with vivid detail, while intimate close-ups capture the emotional stakes. The sound design swells with impact, layering explosive sequences with subtle auditory cues that enhance tension and release. The score peaks in tandem with narrative beats, underscoring moments of victory, sacrifice, and unity. The film's ending leaves viewers with a tantalizing glimpse of what lies ahead. Hints dropped throughout, such as the symbiote's lingering presence and unresolved questions about its species, invite speculation and anticipation. This open narrative door sets the stage for potential continuations, expanding the universe and deepening the mythology. Throughout this second half, the film sustains a complex interplay between spectacle and substance. The high-energy battles and special effects are balanced by character-driven moments and thematic exploration, ensuring that excitement never eclipses emotional engagement. The evolving partnership between Eddie and the symbiote remains the emotional core, grounding the extraordinary events in relatable human experience. In essence, this portion of the story is a journey through transformation of self, relationships, and world. It captures the exhilaration and peril of embracing the unknown, the struggle to maintain identity amid chaos, and the power found in unlikely alliances. The narrative's twists and climaxes challenge viewers to reconsider notions of heroism, control, and what it means to be truly alive. This richly layered conclusion not only delivers on the promise of thrilling entertainment but also invites reflection on deeper questions. How do we reconcile the disparate parts within ourselves? What sacrifices must be made in the pursuit of survival and justice? And how do connection and understanding forge new paths through conflict? As the credits roll, the audience is left with a sense of completion and anticipation. A story told but also unfolding, a world both settled and stirring with new possibilities. The journey through this extraordinary fusion of man and alien ends for now, but its echoes linger, challenging us to look beyond the surface and embrace the complexity within us all. In the heart of this cinematic journey lies a constellation of characters whose complexities and contradictions breathe life into the extraordinary events that unfold. The film's emotional core is anchored not simply in the spectacular clashes or the alien symbiotes, but in the human, and sometimes inhuman, characters whose intertwined fates reflect deeper themes of identity, control, and transformation. Their struggles, alliances, and evolutions invite us to peer beneath the surface of monstrous spectacle and into the fragile, often conflicted souls at the center of the story. Eddie Brock stands as the film's undeniable fulcrum, a man shaped by ambition, loss, and a desperate search for meaning. At first glance, he is the archetype of the flawed hero, brash, determined, and somewhat reckless, driven by a hunger for truth and justice that borders on obsession. His career as an investigative journalist underscores a relentless desire to expose corruption and hold the powerful accountable, yet his downfall, loss of job, love, and credibility, renders him vulnerable and unmoored. This vulnerability is key to his character's appeal. Eddie is not an invincible savior but a deeply human figure grappling with failure and yearning for redemption. The film's genius lies in its portrayal of Eddie's transformation, not merely physical but psychological and emotional. His bond with the symbiote forces him to confront aspects of himself previously unacknowledged: anger, fear, and the chaotic impulses that the alien presence magnifies. This internal struggle is captured through moments of humor and tension, as Eddie negotiates his identity alongside a creature that is at once partner and rival. Their dialogues, laced with sarcasm and conflict, reveal a complex symbiosis, an uneasy truce where mutual dependence breeds both empowerment and discord. Eddie's arc is a study in duality. On one hand, he seeks control over this alien force that threatens to overwhelm him. On the other, he recognizes that embracing this new self offers unprecedented power and freedom. This tension drives much of the narrative's emotional pulse, as Eddie oscillates between resistance and acceptance. His journey resonates with universal themes of self-discovery and integration, the battle to reconcile disparate parts of the self in the quest for wholeness. The symbiote itself emerges as a character of startling depth and nuance. Far from a mere monstrous parasite, it embodies a sentient being with its own desires, fears, and personality. The symbiote's presence challenges traditional notions of villainy and heroism, blurring lines between alien and human, predator and protector. Its hunger and primal urges contrast with moments of empathy and humor, creating a layered figure that oscillates between threat and ally. Their relationship is marked by constant negotiation, a battle for dominance tempered by moments of genuine connection. This dynamic injects the narrative with both tension and levity, as the symbiote's monstrous form is juxtaposed against its witty, sometimes childlike banter. The creature's struggle to understand and coexist with human emotions mirrors Eddie's own quest for identity, forging a partnership that is as much psychological as physical. Carlton Drake, the film's antagonist, offers a compelling counterpoint. As the visionary head of the Life Foundation, Drake embodies ambition untethered by morality. His belief in the symbiotes as the next step in evolution drives him to dangerous extremes, casting him as both a charismatic leader and a ruthless opportunist. Drake's character is painted with shades of complexity, his conviction tempered by a chilling disregard for human life, making him a formidable and unsettling figure. Drake's motivations speak to broader themes of scientific hubris and ethical boundaries. His quest for transcendence and control reflects a Faustian bargain, where the promise of advancement blinds one to the costs. His interactions with symbiotes are marked by domination and manipulation, contrasting sharply with Eddie's evolving partnership based on mutual survival. This dichotomy frames a moral battleground, where competing visions of power and humanity collide. Supporting characters add texture and emotional depth to the story. And Weighing, Eddie's fiancée, grounds the narrative with her compassion and resilience. Her presence humanizes Eddie, offering glimpses of normalcy and emotional connection amid chaos. Anne's character embodies the struggle to balance love and fear, hope and heartbreak, as she grapples with Eddie's transformation and the dangers encroaching on their lives. Her evolution, from concerned partner to empowered survivor, adds layers to the film's exploration of identity and agency. Detective Patrick Mulligan, though a secondary figure, plays a pivotal role in expanding the narrative's stakes and emotional resonance. His encounter with the symbiote and subsequent fate heighten the sense of peril and tragedy. Mulligan's transformation into a host for one of the alien creatures introduces themes of loss of control and involuntary change, paralleling Eddie's journey but with darker consequences. His character evokes sympathy and fear, underscoring the unpredictable nature of symbiotic bonds. The film also features a cadre of minor characters who populate the world with realism and social context. Life Foundation scientists, corporate henchmen, and city residents each contribute to the tapestry, embodying facets of greed, complicity, and vulnerability. These figures, though less developed individually, collectively illuminate the environment in which the central drama unfolds, a world marked by technological ambition, moral ambiguity, and human frailty. Visually, the character designs amplify their narrative roles. Eddie's rugged appearance, worn jeans, and casual shirts reflect an everyman thrust into extraordinary circumstances. His physicality, marked by subtle changes as the symbiote merges with him, signals transformation without losing his humanity. The symbiote's fluid, black tendrils and amorphous shape convey alien otherness and power, its design both beautiful and terrifying. This visual duality mirrors the creature's complex nature, a being caught between destruction and protection. The performances infuse these designs with vitality. The lead actor's ability to convey Eddie's layered emotions, frustration, humor, fear, determination, anchors the film's emotional core. His physicality adapts seamlessly between vulnerability and aggression, reflecting the character's internal conflict. Voice work for the symbiote adds another dimension, its tone shifting from menacing to playful, emphasizing its evolving relationship with Eddie. Symbolism runs deeply through the character's arcs. Eddie and the symbiote together symbolize the fusion of light and dark, order and chaos, self and other. Their struggle represents the universal human challenge of integrating disparate parts of the psyche. Carlton Drake personifies unchecked ambition and the perils of playing God, and represents love's grounding power and the possibility of hope amid turmoil. Mulligan's tragic fate underscores the fragility of control in a world reshaped by alien forces. In sum, the film's characters are more than vessels for plot. They are embodiments of its thematic explorations, richly textured figures whose journeys invite empathy and reflection. Their interactions and transformations paint a portrait of complexity and contradiction, mirroring the chaotic, multifaceted nature of identity and power. Through them, the story transcends its genre trappings to become a meditation on what it means to struggle with the forces within and without, to fight for control and connection in an unpredictable world. This deep character work ensures that the film resonates on multiple levels. It engages not only the senses with thrilling spectacle but the heart and mind with profound questions. As the characters evolve, alone and together, they embody the tensions that define us all, between freedom and constraint, self and other, survival and sacrifice. It is through their stories that the film finds its lasting emotional and intellectual impact. Beneath the pulsating energy and otherworldly spectacle of the film lies a treasure trove of fascinating behind-the-scenes stories and curious details that paint a vivid picture of the extraordinary efforts, unexpected challenges, and quirky moments that shaped its creation. These strangest facts offer a glimpse into the alchemy of filmmaking, a blend of art, technology, human endurance, and serendipity that transforms script and vision into the gripping experience we see on screen. From technical innovations to amusing mishaps, the making of this movie is as compelling as its narrative. One of the most remarkable aspects of production was the painstaking creation of the symbiote's visual effects. The alien organism's design posed a formidable challenge to the visual effects team, who sought to balance otherworldly menace with a striking aesthetic that felt tactile and alive. The symbiote's fluid, shape-shifting tendrils required pioneering CGI techniques, combining motion capture with intricate digital modeling. The artists developed a custom physics engine to simulate the creature's dynamic movements and the way it interacted with Eddie's body and environment, an effort that took years of research and countless iterations to perfect. This commitment to authenticity allowed the symbiote to feel less like a digital construct and more like a living, breathing entity. Interestingly, the voice of the symbiote was created by blending the actor's voice with digital manipulation and contributions from other performers. This collaborative vocal design process aimed to capture the creature's complex personality, simultaneously menacing, sarcastic, and occasionally playful. The sound team experimented extensively, layering distorted tones, growls, and whispers to craft a voice that could convey a range of emotions while maintaining an alien quality. The result was a character whose voice became as iconic and memorable as its visual form. Filming took place across multiple locations, including Vancouver and San Francisco, which presented both opportunities and challenges. The urban landscape of San Francisco, with its iconic architecture and bustling streets, was integral to grounding the story's fantastical elements in a recognizable reality. However, shooting in such a busy city required meticulous planning to manage logistics, crowd control, and timing. One unusual occurrence involved the crew's interaction with the city's famous cable cars. On one occasion, a high-speed chase sequence was filmed near the cable car tracks, requiring close coordination with city officials to temporarily halt service, an unexpected yet thrilling logistical feat. Another striking behind-the-scenes story revolves around the intense physical training undergone by the lead actor. To embody Eddie Brock's transformation, he engaged in a rigorous fitness regimen that combined strength training, agility drills, and combat choreography. His dedication extended beyond the gym. He worked closely with stunt coordinators and martial arts experts to perform many of his own stunts, lending authenticity to fight sequences. This physical commitment paid off in scenes where Eddie's fluid, powerful movements reflect the symbiote's influence, blending human determination with alien grace. The actor's transformation extended to costume and makeup, where innovative techniques were employed to depict the gradual merging of human and symbiote. Special prosthetics and bodysuits were crafted to suggest the creature's presence beneath the skin, subtle tendrils, pulsations, and shifting textures that enhanced the visual storytelling. Makeup artists faced the unique challenge of making these effects both believable and dynamic, often adapting designs in response to performance needs and practical considerations on set. One particularly unusual incident during production involved the filming of a night sequence in a remote industrial area. The crew encountered an unexpected wildlife visitor, a curious raccoon that wandered onto the set, causing a brief but memorable disruption. Rather than shooing the animal away, the director and crew embraced the moment, incorporating the raccoon's brief cameo as a quirky touch in the background. This serendipitous event became a beloved anecdote among the cast and crew, highlighting the unpredictability of shooting on location. The film's sound design team also encountered peculiar challenges. Capturing the unique sounds of the symbiote required inventive approaches. Foley artists used a combination of wet, viscous materials, such as gelatin and rubber, to replicate the creature's slippery, amorphous movements. Recording sessions often involved playful experimentation, with artists improvising noises that ranged from subtle whispers to guttural growls. These sessions not only produced essential sound effects but also fostered a creative atmosphere where technicians became performers in their own right. Behind the camera, the director's approach was both meticulous and flexible. Known for encouraging improvisation, he often allowed actors to explore their characters beyond scripted lines, leading to spontaneous moments that enriched the film's texture. On one occasion, an improvised exchange between Eddie and the symbiote, laden with sarcasm and quick wit, was so well received that it was preserved in the final cut, becoming a fan-favorite moment. This openness to creative discovery helped forge the unique tone that blends intensity with humor. Casting choices brought their own stories of serendipity and challenge. The role of Eddie Brock was nearly given to another actor before the final decision, and the lead actor's personal enthusiasm for the project helped solidify his involvement. Supporting actors underwent intensive preparation to authentically portray characters living on the margins of society or entwined in the biotech underworld. Some auditions took place under unusual conditions: outdoor locations with unpredictable weather, remote sets requiring physical endurance, that tested and revealed the actor's commitment. The film's marketing campaign included a series of innovative promotions, including interactive online experiences and viral videos that teased the symbiote's mysterious nature. One memorable event featured a life-sized replica of the symbiote's head displayed at comic conventions, attracting fans and media alike. This marketing strategy helped build anticipation and foster a sense of community among the fanbase, contributing to the film's cultural footprint. During post-production, the editing team faced the daunting task of balancing pacing, narrative coherence, and visual spectacle. Multiple versions of key sequences were created and tested with focus groups, leading to refinements that enhanced clarity and emotional impact. The process highlighted the collaborative nature of filmmaking, where input from diverse perspectives shapes the final product. Visual effects supervisors recount the challenge of integrating CGI symbiotes seamlessly into live-action footage. They developed proprietary software tools to simulate the creature's interaction with various materials and lighting conditions, enabling effects artists to craft scenes where the symbiote's form responds realistically to its environment. These technical achievements pushed the boundaries of what was visually possible at the time. In sum, the making of this film is a story of innovation, adaptation, and unexpected moments, where cutting-edge technology met human creativity, and where the unpredictable rhythms of production brought forth a unique cinematic experience. These strangest facts and behind-the-scenes tales enrich our appreciation, revealing the dedication and ingenuity that pulse beneath the surface of every frame. Through this lens, we see not just a movie, but a vibrant testament to the art and craft of storytelling in the modern age. Within the swirling narrative of this film, the significant events unfold not just as plot mechanisms but as profound signifiers imbued with thematic weight and emotional complexity. Each pivotal moment acts as a nexus where story and meaning intersect, inviting viewers and critics alike to probe beneath surface excitement and grapple with the deeper resonances woven throughout. These events are carefully constructed to challenge conventional genre expectations, enriching the film's impact and shaping its reception across audiences and scholars alike. One of the most critical early events, the fusion between Eddie Brock and the symbiote, serves as a powerful metaphor for identity fragmentation and integration. This moment transcends mere sci-fi spectacle to embody a profound exploration of the self's multiplicity. Eddie's physical transformation symbolizes the internal battles many face when reconciling conflicting impulses, desires, or traumas. Critics have noted that the symbiote's intrusion into Eddie's body functions as an externalization of psychological fragmentation, offering a cinematic language for the complex interplay between control and chaos inherent in human consciousness. This event also sets in motion the film's thematic inquiry into duality and coexistence. The uneasy partnership forged between man and alien raises questions about agency and autonomy, the boundaries of selfhood, and the ethics of symbiosis, both literal and metaphorical. From a critical perspective, this dynamic challenges binary notions of hero and villain, good and evil, suggesting instead a spectrum where identities are fluid and contested. Such complexity has garnered scholarly interest, situating the film within broader discourses on posthumanism and hybridity. The exposé on the Life Foundation represents another significant event laden with critical meaning. This moment exposes the corporation's morally dubious experiments, highlighting themes of scientific hubris and corporate malfeasance. Critics have interpreted this plot development as a pointed critique of unchecked technological advancement and capitalist exploitation. The Foundation's ambition to harness alien life for profit and power reflects anxieties about dehumanization and ethical erosion in contemporary society, adding layers of social commentary beneath the film's genre surface. This event catalyzes narrative tension by revealing the antagonist's motives and raising the stakes beyond personal survival to encompass planetary consequences. The Life Foundation's role invites analysis of power structures and the complicity of institutions in perpetuating harm, resonating with real-world debates about bioethics, environmental degradation, and surveillance. Such thematic richness elevates the film, offering audiences more than visceral thrills, a platform for reflection on pressing cultural issues. The introduction of Riot as a malevolent symbiote antagonist intensifies the film's exploration of dominance, aggression, and identity dissolution. Riot's characterization as a force seeking control over hosts and environment parallels colonialist and imperialist metaphors, inviting readings that connect the narrative to historical and political dynamics of invasion and subjugation. His physical and ideological opposition to Eddie's symbiote underscores tensions between freedom and control, individual will and collective domination. Critically, Riot embodies the dark potential of the symbiotic relationship. What happens when power is wielded without empathy or restraint? This dichotomy foregrounds moral questions about the use and abuse of strength, complicating simplistic hero-slash-villain dichotomies. The climactic confrontations between Eddie and Riot become allegories for struggles over self-determination and resistance to oppressive forces, lending the film a symbolic depth that resonates beyond its action sequences. The film's climax, set against the urban backdrop of San Francisco, serves as a microcosm of these broader themes. The cityscape, a symbol of human achievement and vulnerability, becomes a battleground where alien forces disrupt order and challenge the boundaries of the familiar. Critics have noted how the juxtaposition of fantastical violence with recognizable urban settings heightens the impact, creating a tension between the extraordinary and the everyday. This setting amplifies the stakes, suggesting that the conflicts are not isolated but embedded within the fabric of society. Narratively, the climax resolves key tensions while maintaining thematic ambiguity. Eddie's acceptance of the symbiote as part of himself symbolizes a synthesis of dualities, human and alien, order and chaos. This resolution resists tidy closure, reflecting the film's interest in complexity and contradiction. The defeat of Riot and the Life Foundation's plans restores a fragile equilibrium but leaves open questions about the future of symbiosis and identity. Such an ending invites ongoing reflection, encouraging audiences to engage with the film's themes beyond the viewing experience. From an emotional standpoint, the film balances intense action with moments of vulnerability and connection. Eddie's relationships, with the symbiote and others, ground the narrative in human experience, lending emotional resonance to the fantastical events. Critics have praised this balance, noting how it prevents the film from devolving into empty spectacle. Instead, it becomes a story about belonging, trust, and the search for self amid alienation, a narrative that speaks to universal human concerns. Audience reception reflects this complexity. While many celebrate the film's kinetic energy and visual effects, discussions often focus on the nuanced portrayal of identity and the innovative blending of horror, humor, and heroism. Fan communities engage deeply with the character's duality, exploring the tensions and harmonies between Eddie and the symbiote. This engagement highlights the film's success in creating multifaceted characters who resonate emotionally and intellectually. Scholarly critiques have explored the film's engagement with themes of posthumanism, hybridity, and the limits of the self. The symbiote's intrusion and integration challenge fixed notions of individuality, suggesting fluid, relational identities. This aligns the film with contemporary theoretical discussions about the body, technology, and otherness, positioning it as a work of cultural significance within and beyond genre cinema. Moreover, the film's depiction of corporate power and ethical ambiguity has sparked debate regarding its social commentary. Some critics interpret it as a cautionary tale about technological overreach and capitalist exploitation, while others question the depth and nuance of this critique. These conversations enrich the film's cultural footprint, situating it within ongoing dialogues about science, ethics, and power. The emotional rhythms of the film. Moments of levity, often provided by the symbiote's witty banter, offer relief and insight, humanizing the alien presence and fostering audience connection. This tonal interplay has been widely noted as a strength, contributing to the film's unique voice. In sum, the significant events within the film serve as conduits for rich thematic and emotional explorations. They transform the narrative from a conventional action story into a layered meditation on identity, power, and coexistence. This depth contributes to the film's lasting impact and shapes its reception among diverse audiences and critics. By intertwining spectacle with substance, the film invites viewers to confront not only external conflicts but the internal battles that define us all. The making of this film is a fascinating journey into the intricate world of modern filmmaking, where visionary creativity meets cutting-edge technology, and where countless hands and minds collaborate to bring a complex narrative to life. Behind the thrilling spectacle and nuanced performances lies a rich tapestry of production insights and surprising anecdotes that reveal not only the technical challenges but also the human stories woven into the fabric of the movie's creation. These moments of innovation, perseverance, and sometimes sheer happenstance add layers of appreciation to the final cinematic experience. From the outset, the filmmakers knew that capturing the essence of the symbiote, a creature both alien and deeply intertwined with human emotion, would require pushing the boundaries of visual effects and performance integration. The production team assembled some of the most skilled digital artists and practical effects experts, setting out to create a symbiotic entity that felt alive, unpredictable, and visually stunning. The design process was iterative and collaborative, involving months of concept art, 3D modeling, and motion capture to achieve the fluid, shifting forms of the symbiote's tendrils and transformations. One of the most intriguing production insights centers on the motion capture technology used to animate the symbiote. Actors donned specialized suits embedded with sensors to capture nuanced movements that were then translated into the CGI symbiote. This process allowed the creature to mimic human gestures and emotions with surprising subtlety, lending it a personality that transcended mere special effects. The lead actor's physical performance was integral, as his movements and reactions informed the symbiote's digital behavior, creating a seamless blend between man and alien on screen. Behind the scenes, the relationship between the lead actor and the visual effects team became a dynamic exchange. The actors' improvisations and physical choices during filming inspired digital artists to experiment with new animation techniques, resulting in symbiote movements that conveyed both menace and mischief. This synergy between performance and technology was crucial in establishing the symbiote as a character in its own right rather than a static digital element. Filming locations contributed significantly to the film's atmosphere, with production taking place in diverse environments from the urban sprawl of Vancouver to meticulously constructed sets. The Life Foundation's headquarters, for example, was a sprawling set designed to evoke sterile scientific coldness juxtaposed with alien menace. Production designers paid close attention to architectural details, materials, and lighting to create a space that felt simultaneously futuristic and unsettling, reflecting the ethical ambiguities of the story. On-location shoots presented their own challenges and unexpected moments. In the bustling city scenes, coordinating action sequences amid real urban settings required careful choreography and cooperation with local authorities. One memorable incident involved an unplanned crowd of onlookers during a chase scene, whose spontaneous reactions added an organic energy that the director chose to incorporate into the final cut. Such moments highlight the unpredictable nature of shooting in live environments and the production's ability to adapt creatively. The practical effects team also played a pivotal role in grounding the film's fantastical elements. Makeup artists developed innovative prosthetics and bodysuits to suggest the symbiote's presence beneath Eddie Brock's skin, blending seamlessly with CGI to enhance realism. These tactile elements gave actors physical anchors to interact with, improving performances and viewer immersion. The interplay between practical and digital effects exemplifies the film's hybrid approach to visual storytelling. Stunt coordination and choreography were vital components of production, given the film's emphasis on physicality and dynamic combat. Stunt performers underwent rigorous training to execute complex fight scenes safely and convincingly, often collaborating closely with camera operators to capture action from compelling angles. The lead actor's commitment to performing many of his own stunts elevated the authenticity of these sequences, creating visceral moments that resonate with audiences. The director fostered a collaborative atmosphere on set, encouraging experimentation and improvisation. Several scenes benefited from spontaneous actor input, including witty exchanges between Eddie and the symbiote that added humor and depth. This openness to creative exploration allowed the film to balance intense action with character-driven moments, enriching the narrative texture. Sound design sessions reveal another layer of ingenuity. Foley artists employed unconventional materials, such as wet latex, silicone, and rubber, to replicate the unique textures and movements of the symbiote. Recording these sounds involved a playful trial-and-error approach, producing a library of noises that ranged from subtle skin shifts to guttural roars. Sound engineers then layered and manipulated these recordings to create a rich auditory palette that enhances the symbiote's presence beyond the visual. The musical score, composed to blend electronic and orchestral elements, was crafted to mirror the film's tonal shifts, from tension and horror to humor and heroism. The composer collaborated closely with editors and directors, adjusting themes to align with narrative pacing and emotional beats. This dynamic process underscored the importance of sound and music in shaping the audience's experience. Marketing and promotional efforts introduced unique fan engagement strategies. The production team released teaser trailers featuring cryptic glimpses of the symbiote, generating buzz and speculation. At conventions, interactive exhibits allowed fans to explore the symbiote's design and lore, fostering a sense of community and anticipation. These initiatives extended the film's reach and deepened its cultural impact. Throughout production, the cast and crew faced the usual mix of pressures and joys inherent in filmmaking. Long days, challenging weather, and demanding physical scenes tested endurance, but camaraderie and shared passion sustained morale. Anecdotes abound of cast bonding over meals, light-hearted pranks, and mutual support during intense sequences. These human moments infuse the production story with warmth and relatability. Post-production was an equally complex phase, involving extensive visual effects rendering, sound mixing, and editing to refine pacing and coherence. Editors worked tirelessly to balance the film's multifaceted tone, weaving together action, suspense, and humor into a cohesive narrative flow. Multiple test screenings informed adjustments, reflecting the collaborative and iterative nature of bringing a film to its final form. In summary, the production of this film exemplifies the fusion of artistic vision, technological innovation, and human dedication. The behind-the-scenes stories and fun facts reveal a creative ecosystem where challenges are met with ingenuity and passion. Understanding these facets enriches our appreciation, reminding us that every thrilling moment on screen is the product of countless hours of craft, collaboration, and sometimes unexpected serendipity. The film unfolds across a carefully crafted world that is as much a character as the protagonists themselves, a layered landscape where setting and cinematic elements intertwine to enrich the narrative and immerse the viewer fully in its shadowed, thrilling universe. From the bustling streets of the city to the sterile corridors of clandestine laboratories, each location is imbued with symbolic weight and visual nuance, enhancing the story's themes and emotional resonance in profound ways. The urban landscape serves as the primary stage, grounding the extraordinary events in a recognizable, lived-in reality. San Francisco's iconic architecture, with its steep hills and vibrant cityscape, provides a textured backdrop that contrasts sharply with the alien intrusion central to the plot. The film's depiction of the city is both cinematic and authentic, capturing a sense of place that is dynamic yet fraught with hidden dangers. This setting embodies the collision of human civilization with unknowable forces, where everyday life continues amid lurking threats. The interplay of light and shadow in the city's streets and alleys visually underscores this tension, bright daylight revealing mundane routines, while nocturnal scenes plunge the urban environment into mystery and menace. Beyond the city's surface, the Life Foundation's secretive research facility introduces a starkly different environment, clinical, controlled, and unsettling. The architecture here is deliberately sterile, with cold metal surfaces, glass partitions, and harsh fluorescent lighting that evoke a sense of dehumanization and scientific detachment. This setting amplifies the film's themes of ethical ambiguity and the dangers of unchecked ambition. The laboratory's design, with its labyrinthine corridors and shadowed chambers, becomes a metaphor for hidden agendas and the entrapment of both human and alien subjects within institutional power structures. Cinematographically, these scenes utilize sharp angles and tight framing to convey claustrophobia and surveillance, reinforcing the pervasive sense of control and manipulation. In stark contrast, scenes depicting Eddie Brock's personal spaces, his apartment, the parking garage, offer a more intimate and grounded aesthetic. These settings are warm yet cluttered, reflecting the protagonist's complex emotional state and the chaos enveloping his life. The use of natural light, subtle color palettes, and handheld camera work in these moments fosters a sense of immediacy and vulnerability. The close quarters and lived-in details invite the audience into Eddie's world, fostering empathy and connection amid the unfolding alien threats. The film also employs urban decay and industrial zones to heighten atmosphere and tension. Abandoned warehouses, shadowy docks, and graffiti-strewn alleys serve as arenas for key confrontations, their gritty textures emphasizing themes of danger and societal marginalization. These settings create visual contrasts between the slick corporate environments and the raw underbelly of the city, underscoring the narrative's exploration of power disparities and hidden violence. Lighting in these locales often shifts dramatically, from harsh spotlights cutting through fog to deep shadows concealing threats, crafting a chiaroscuro effect that heightens suspense and unpredictability. Cinematographically, the film is marked by a dynamic visual language that balances spectacle with intimacy. The director of photography employs a versatile palette, shifting from the cold blues and sterile whites of laboratory scenes to the warmer, earthier tones of personal and urban settings. This color modulation not only differentiates environments but also mirrors narrative mood shifts, from tension and fear to moments of levity and hope. The interplay of light and color serves as an unspoken narrative thread, guiding viewers through the story's emotional landscape. Camera movement is carefully calibrated to enhance storytelling. In action sequences, handheld and Steadicam shots create a visceral, kinetic energy that immerses viewers in the chaos and urgency of combat. Rapid tracking shots follow the symbiote's fluid transformations, capturing its alien grace and menace. Conversely, slower dolly and crane shots in quieter scenes allow space for character introspection and relational dynamics, emphasizing emotional beats. The juxtaposition of these techniques crafts a rhythm that sustains engagement and emotional depth. Visual effects seamlessly integrate with live-action footage to bring the symbiote's mutable form to life. The creature's shifting tendrils, liquid black surfaces, and sudden bursts of movement are rendered with meticulous attention to texture and motion. The symbiote's design exploits contrast, its dark, glossy body against bright urban backdrops or sterile lab interiors, making its presence both startling and mesmerizing. The use of reflections, translucency, and shadow in CGI enhances the alien quality while maintaining believability. Sound design complements the visual elements, layering ambient city noises, mechanical hums, and the symbiote's distinctive slithering and pulsating sounds to create a rich auditory environment. The soundscape oscillates between familiar urban textures and unsettling alien noises, reinforcing the theme of intrusion and otherness. Strategic use of silence amplifies tension, particularly in scenes of anticipation or internal conflict, allowing viewers to inhabit the emotional space alongside the characters. The film's score weaves electronic and orchestral elements, echoing the duality central to the narrative. Pulsing electronic beats underscore moments of alien influence and action, while sweeping orchestral themes accompany scenes of human connection and introspection. This musical interplay enhances mood and thematic resonance, uniting disparate narrative strands into a cohesive emotional experience. Symbolically, the settings function as extensions of character and theme. The film's score weaves electronic and orchestral elements, echoing the duality central to the narrative. Pulsing electronic beats underscore moments of alien influence and action, while sweeping orchestral themes accompany scenes of human connection and introspection. This musical interplay enhances mood and thematic resonance, uniting disparate narrative strands into a cohesive emotional experience. Symbolically, the settings function as extensions of character and theme. The city's layered facades mirror Eddie's fractured identity, while the Life Foundation's cold architecture symbolizes the dehumanizing potential of unchecked technological ambition. The symbiote's fluid form challenges the rigidity of these environments, introducing chaos and unpredictability. This tension between order and disorder, human and alien, permeates the film's visual storytelling. In sum, the film's settings and cinematic elements form a richly textured world that enhances narrative complexity and emotional impact. Through thoughtful use of location, lighting, color, camera movement, and sound, the filmmakers craft an immersive experience where environment and story are inextricably linked. This fusion invites viewers not only to witness a tale of alien invasion and personal transformation, but to feel the atmospheric and symbolic weight of a world caught between the familiar and the extraordinary. Behind the polished spectacle and carefully choreographed scenes of the film lies a rich tapestry of human stories. Moments of camaraderie, unexpected challenges, and creative problem-solving that shaped the production in profound ways. The set was not merely a backdrop for alien battles and high-stakes drama. It was a living, breathing environment where cast and crew forged relationships, navigated obstacles, and infused their work with passion and resilience. These behind-the-scenes insights reveal the heart and soul behind the spectacle, enriching our appreciation of the film's creation. From the very beginning, the atmosphere on set was charged with a unique blend of excitement and determination. The production brought together a diverse team of professionals, each bringing their expertise and personalities to the complex task of bringing the symbiote saga to life. Despite the immense pressure of a high-profile, effects-driven blockbuster, the crew fostered a spirit of collaboration and mutual respect that permeated every department. One of the most talked-about stories involves the dynamic between the lead actor and the visual effects team. The actor, deeply committed to embodying the physicality and emotional nuance of Eddie Brock's transformation, worked closely with the VFX artists throughout shooting. During one intense scene where the symbiote first manifests, the actor improvised a series of movements that inspired the digital artists to experiment with new animation techniques. This spontaneous collaboration resulted in one of the film's most memorable visual moments, a fluid, serpentine movement that felt both alien and intimately connected to human gesture. The camaraderie extended beyond creative exchanges. On long shooting days, the cast and crew found ways to maintain morale and foster community. Anecdotes abound of shared meals in makeshift dining areas, where laughter and storytelling helped alleviate the fatigue of demanding schedules. Pranks and light-hearted contests became a cherished tradition, with the stunt team orchestrating elaborate setups involving harmless scares and playful challenges. These moments of levity strengthened bonds and created a supportive atmosphere essential for sustaining focus and energy. Filming in urban locations presented its own set of challenges and surprises. Shooting amidst the hustle and bustle of city life required meticulous coordination to manage crowds, control noise, and ensure safety. On one occasion, a planned chase sequence was interrupted by an impromptu street festival, with costumed performers and large crowds flooding the area. Rather than postponing, the director embraced the unexpected, incorporating elements of the festival's energy into the scene. This adaptive approach added authenticity and vibrancy, turning a logistical hurdle into a creative opportunity. Weather also played a significant role in shaping the production experience. Outdoor shoots in Vancouver and San Francisco were subject to unpredictable conditions. Rain, wind, and fluctuating temperatures challenged both cast and crew. Protective measures, such as heated tents and specialized clothing, helped mitigate discomfort, while flexible scheduling allowed the team to capitalize on favorable windows. One memorable day saw a sudden downpour halt filming mid-scene, but the crew used the pause to rehearse and refine choreography, turning adversity into preparation. Physical demands on the actors and stunt performers were considerable. The lead actor's commitment to performing many of his own stunts necessitated intensive training in martial arts, parkour, and combat techniques. Injuries were an unfortunate but inevitable aspect of such rigorous work, with minor sprains and bruises common. The production's medical team worked closely to ensure swift treatment and recovery, while shooting schedules were adjusted to accommodate rest without compromising momentum. The coordination between departments was a marvel of logistical planning. Action sequences required precise timing between stunt coordinators, camera operators, special effects technicians, and safety personnel. One particularly complex scene involved a multi-layered fight with rapid choreography and pyrotechnics. Rehearsals spanned days, with incremental adjustments to timing, positioning, and effects cues. The successful execution of this scene was celebrated as a triumph of teamwork, with everyone recognizing the collective effort behind the seamless final product. Makeup and costume departments also faced unique challenges in realizing the film's vision. Creating the appearance of symbiote influence on Eddie Brock demanded innovative prosthetics and body paints that could withstand long shooting hours and physical exertion. The makeup artists developed specialized formulas that allowed for rapid application and removal, maintaining continuity while minimizing discomfort. Costumes were tailored to accommodate the transformation sequences, often requiring quick changes and adaptations during intense scenes. The sound team's work was equally vital and complex. Capturing clean dialogue amidst noisy urban settings and explosive action necessitated inventive solutions. Boom operators and sound mixers utilized directional microphones, windshields, and isolation techniques to ensure clarity. On-set playback and post-production ADR sessions were employed to enhance performance quality. The layered soundscape, combining ambient city noises, mechanical effects, and the symbiote's distinctive sounds, was meticulously crafted to immerse audiences fully. Technology played a transformative role in bridging practical effects and digital artistry. The use of pre-visualization techniques allowed directors and cinematographers to plan complex sequences in virtual environments before shooting. This approach enabled the team to anticipate challenges, experiment with camera angles, and refine choreography, saving valuable time on set. Motion capture sessions for the symbiote's movements involved specialized studios equipped with high-speed cameras and sensors, capturing nuanced performances that animators translated into CGI. Post-production was an intensive phase where the film truly took shape. Editors, visual effects supervisors, sound designers, and composers collaborated closely to weave narrative, spectacle, and emotion into a cohesive whole. Iterative feedback loops, test screenings, and creative brainstorming sessions refined pacing, tone, and visual coherence. The process demanded patience and adaptability, with teams working across continents and time zones to meet ambitious deadlines. Amid the technical and artistic endeavors, the human element remained paramount. Cast and crew often spoke of the deep sense of purpose and pride that infused the project. Despite the challenges, long hours, physical strain, and the pressures of high expectations, the shared goal of telling a compelling story fostered resilience and camaraderie. Testimonials from the team reveal lasting friendships forged on set and a collective excitement for the film's release and reception. In essence, the behind-the-scenes story of the film is a testament to the collaborative spirit and inventive problem-solving that define modern filmmaking. It is a narrative of passion meeting precision, where artistic vision is realized through technology, teamwork, and human endurance. These insights enrich our understanding and appreciation, reminding us that beyond the dazzling visuals and thrilling action lies a deeply human endeavor to create something memorable, meaningful, and enduring. Beneath the high-octane action and mesmerizing visual effects of the film lies a rich tapestry of themes and symbolism that elevate the narrative beyond mere spectacle. These thematic undercurrents thread through the story and characters, inviting viewers to engage with profound questions about identity, power, duality, and the very nature of humanity. By exploring these layers, the film becomes not only a thrilling adventure but also a meditation on internal conflict, transformation, and coexistence. At the heart of the film's thematic landscape is the concept of duality, a constant interplay between opposing forces that shape both the protagonist and the wider world. Eddie Brock's fusion with the symbiote epitomizes this duality, embodying the tension between human and alien, control and chaos, self and other. This relationship serves as a metaphor for the fractured nature of identity, reflecting the universal struggle to reconcile disparate parts within oneself. The symbiote's presence both empowers and threatens Eddie, symbolizing the seductive yet dangerous allure of unchecked power and the challenge of integrating shadow aspects without losing one's core humanity. This theme of duality extends beyond the central characters to permeate the narrative structure and visual motifs. The film juxtaposes sterile, controlled environments, such as the Life Foundation laboratories, with the fluid, amorphous forms of the symbiotes, visually representing the clash between order and disorder. The urban setting, simultaneously vibrant and shadowed, becomes a battleground where hidden forces disrupt the surface tranquility, reinforcing ideas of concealed identities and latent conflicts. Power and its ethical dimensions form another crucial thematic pillar. The Life Foundation's relentless pursuit to harness and weaponize alien symbiotes critiques scientific hubris and corporate greed. Carlton Drake's vision of evolutionary advancement through symbiosis raises unsettling questions about the costs of progress and the boundaries of moral responsibility. His character embodies the dangerous allure of domination disguised as salvation, a modern Prometheus whose ambition threatens to consume humanity. This exploration resonates with contemporary anxieties about biotechnology, control, and the commodification of life. The film's portrayal of power is complex, refusing simplistic good versus evil binaries. Eddie's relationship with the symbiote mirrors this ambiguity. His use of its abilities is both liberating and fraught with risk. The narrative probes the tension between empowerment and vulnerability, illustrating how power can both protect and corrupt. This nuanced depiction invites reflection on the responsibilities that come with strength and the dangers of surrendering autonomy to external forces. Transformation and metamorphosis are woven deeply into the film's thematic fabric. Physical change, the visceral, often grotesque evolution Eddie undergoes, is a surface manifestation of internal shifts. The symbiotic fusion acts as a catalyst for self-discovery, forcing Eddie to confront fears, desires, and fractured aspects of identity. This theme resonates with broader human experiences of growth and change, the pain and potential of becoming something new without losing oneself entirely. The motif of the symbiote as a mirror also speaks to themes of empathy and otherness. Its alien nature challenges notions of what it means to be human, inviting questions about the boundaries of empathy and the possibility of coexistence across difference. The symbiote's struggle to understand human emotions and values parallels Eddie's efforts to harness alien power without losing his moral compass. This dynamic embodies the hope and difficulty inherent in bridging divides. Be they personal, cultural, or species-based symbolism enriches these themes with layers of visual and narrative meaning. The symbiote's black, fluid form symbolizes both menace and potential, an unpredictable force that can adapt, consume, or protect. Its shifting shapes evoke notions of impermanence and the instability of identity, reinforcing the film's focus on transformation and duality. Tendrils extending and retracting mirror the push and pull between integration and separation within Eddie. The Life Foundation's laboratories symbolize the cold rationality and detachment of unchecked scientific ambition. Their sterile, clinical design contrasts starkly with the organic chaos of the symbiotes, representing a mechanistic worldview at odds with the unpredictable forces it seeks to control. This setting functions as a visual metaphor for the ethical and existential dangers of attempting to dominate nature and life itself. Urban landscapes carry symbolic weight as well. The city's dual nature, bright and bustling yet shadowed and secretive, reflects the film's exploration of hidden identities and unseen battles. The contrast between public facades and private turmoil underscores the characters' struggles to maintain appearances while wrestling with internal chaos. The film's use of light and shadow enhances symbolic meaning, with chiaroscuro effects underscoring moments of moral ambiguity and internal conflict. Scenes bathed in stark light often coincide with revelation or confrontation, while shadowed sequences evoke fear, uncertainty, and hidden danger. This interplay reinforces the narrative's oscillation between clarity and obscurity, good and evil, control and surrender. Sound and music also contribute symbolically. The symbiote's distinctive slithering and pulsing sounds embody its alien presence and internal rhythms, contrasting with the mechanical hums of the Life Foundation's technology. The score's blend of electronic and orchestral elements mirrors the fusion of human and alien, order and chaos, grounding the film's emotional tone in its thematic core. The characters themselves embody these themes and symbols. Eddie represents the human struggle for identity and agency amid external and internal forces. The symbiote is both a source of power and a symbol of otherness and transformation. Carlton Drake personifies ambition unchecked by ethics, while and other supporting characters anchor the narrative in human connection and moral grounding. Together, these thematic explorations and symbolic elements transform the film from a conventional superhero tale into a nuanced meditation on what it means to be human in an age of transformation and uncertainty. The story invites viewers to consider how identity is shaped by conflict and cooperation, how power can both liberate and endanger, and how connection across difference remains a vital, if challenging, path forward. In this way, the film resonates on multiple levels, viscerally thrilling yet intellectually and emotionally rich, offering a cinematic experience that lingers long after the credits roll, prompting reflection on the forces within and beyond ourselves. The magic of this film owes much to the intricate dance of filmmaking techniques that underpin every frame, every sound, every moment of visceral tension and emotional nuance. Behind the dazzling spectacle lies a carefully orchestrated symphony of craft, cinematography, sound design, editing, and visual effects that collectively forge an immersive atmosphere, pulling viewers deep into the narrative's shadowed world. These techniques do more than merely present the story. They shape how we feel it, how we inhabit the experience, and how the film lingers in our minds long after the final scene fades. Central to this cinematic architecture is the film's cinematography, which skillfully balances the gritty realism of the urban landscape with the surreal, fluid presence of the symbiote. The director of photography employs a palette that shifts with the narrative's emotional beats. Cool, sterile blues and whites dominate scenes within the Life Foundation's labs, emphasizing the clinical, impersonal nature of scientific experimentation. In contrast, warmer tones and natural light characterize the more intimate human spaces, such as Eddie Brock's apartment or the bustling city streets. This deliberate use of color temperature not only differentiates environments but also subtly cues viewers into the story's emotional currents. Camera movement plays a pivotal role in shaping the film's tone and pacing. During action sequences, handheld and Steadicam shots create a sense of immediacy and chaos, placing the audience in the thick of combat and transformation. The fluidity of the symbiote's form is accentuated through dynamic tracking shots that follow its shifting tendrils and sudden bursts of motion, highlighting its alien nature. Conversely, moments of introspection and dialogue often utilize slower dolly or crane shots, allowing space for character emotions to breathe and for viewers to absorb narrative nuances. This oscillation between frenetic energy and contemplative calm establishes a rhythm that mirrors the protagonist's turbulent journey. Lighting design is another crucial element, crafting mood and atmosphere through contrasts and shadows. High-contrast lighting, or chiaroscuro, is employed to underscore themes of duality and moral ambiguity. Scenes are frequently composed with stark light and deep shadow, visually reinforcing the film's exploration of internal conflict and the battle between control and chaos. In some sequences, light is used symbolically, a shaft piercing darkness or flickering illumination suggesting moments of clarity amid confusion. These lighting choices contribute to the film's noir-esque aesthetic, lending a sense of mystery and tension. Sound design weaves a rich auditory tapestry that amplifies the narrative's emotional and sensory dimensions. The symbiote's distinctive slithering, pulsating sounds are crafted from a combination of organic and synthetic sources, layered to evoke an otherworldly presence that is both menacing and alive. Foley artists meticulously recreated textures, wet, sticky, elastic, to mirror the creature's fluidity and unpredictability. These sounds interact with the urban soundscape, honking cars, distant sirens, footsteps, to ground the alien within the familiar, enhancing immersion. The film's score further deepens emotional engagement, blending electronic beats with orchestral motifs to reflect the fusion of human and alien. The music shifts seamlessly between pulsating rhythms during action sequences and haunting melodies in moments of introspection, guiding viewers' emotional responses and reinforcing thematic undertones. Collaboration between composer and director ensured that the score not only complemented but elevated the storytelling. Becoming an integral narrative. Voice editing shapes the film's narrative flow and tension, carefully balancing fast-paced sequences with quieter scenes to maintain audience engagement without fatigue. Rapid cuts during combat and chase scenes heighten adrenaline, while longer takes in character-driven moments allow subtleties of performance to resonate. Cross-cutting between parallel storylines builds suspense, especially as the threat of the Life Foundation's other symbiotes grows. The judicious use of slow motion at climactic points emphasizes impact and gravity, inviting reflection amid chaos. Visual effects are a cornerstone of the film's immersive quality, with pioneering CGI bringing the symbiote's amorphous form to vivid life. The effects team developed proprietary software to simulate the creature's dynamic movements, textures, and interactions with light and environment. This technology allowed for seamless integration of the digital symbiote with live-action footage, preserving believability. Practical effects, prosthetics, makeup, physical rigs, worked in tandem with CGI, grounding fantastical elements in tangible reality and enhancing actor performances. The synergy between practical and digital effects exemplifies the film's hybrid approach, where human touch complements technological innovation. For instance, during transformation scenes, prosthetics provide physical cues for actors, while CGI extends and morphs these elements into the symbiote's fluid shapes. This blend heightens realism and emotional resonance, enabling viewers to connect with both the human and alien aspects. Stunt choreography and camera work collaborate to deliver kinetic, visceral action that is both thrilling and coherent. Careful planning ensured safety without sacrificing intensity, with innovative rigs and wire work enabling gravity-defying movements. The camera often serves as an active participant, swooping, spinning, and weaving through fights to capture the symbiote's agility and unpredictability. These dynamic visuals immerse audiences in the battle, making them feel the stakes physically and emotionally. The film's production also embraced cutting-edge pre-visualization techniques, using virtual reality and digital mock-ups to plan complex sequences before filming. This approach streamlined shooting, allowing directors and cinematographers to experiment with camera angles, lighting, and choreography in a virtual space. The result is a more precise, deliberate cinematic language that serves the story's pacing and emotional beats. Color grading in post-production refined the film's aesthetic, enhancing contrasts and emphasizing thematic color palettes. Dark shadows, deep blacks, and rich blues create a moody, atmospheric canvas, while splashes of color punctuate key moments, guiding viewer attention and emotional tone. This meticulous color work reinforces narrative themes and heightens visual impact. In the realm of sound mixing, the film employs spatial audio techniques to envelop viewers, positioning sounds with precision to match on-screen action and perspective. This immersive soundscape draws audiences into the symbiote's world, making every rustle, whisper, and explosion palpably present. Dialogue is balanced carefully with effects and score to maintain clarity amid complex sound layers. Together, these filmmaking techniques coalesce into a cohesive sensory experience that transcends traditional genre boundaries. The visual and auditory choices shape a world that is both alien and intimately human, thrilling and emotionally resonant. By harnessing the interplay of light, sound, motion, and color, the film crafts an atmosphere that invites not just observation but full immersion. This careful orchestration of technical artistry and narrative intent is a testament to the collaborative vision of the filmmakers. It underscores the power of cinematic language to convey complex themes and emotions beyond words, engaging viewers on multiple sensory and intellectual levels. In sum, the film's atmosphere and impact are inseparable from the mastery of its filmmaking techniques. Cinematography, sound design, editing, and visual effects work in concert to create a world that is haunting, vibrant, and compelling, a testament to the artistry and innovation that define contemporary cinema. Through these means, the story is not merely told but felt, becoming an experience that resonates deeply and lingers long after the screen fades to black. Filming took place across multiple locations, including Vancouver and San Francisco, which presented both opportunities and challenges. The urban landscape of San Francisco, with its iconic architecture and bustling streets, was integral to grounding the story's fantastical elements in a recognizable reality. However, shooting in such a busy city required meticulous planning to manage logistics, crowd control, and timing. One unusual occurrence involved the crew's interaction with the city's famous cable cars. On one occasion, a high-speed chase sequence was filmed near the cable car tracks, requiring close coordination with city officials to temporarily halt service, an unexpected yet thrilling logistical feat. Another striking behind-the-scenes story revolves around the intense physical training undergone by the lead actor. To embody Eddie Brock's transformation, he engaged in a rigorous fitness regimen that combined strength training, agility drills, and combat choreography. His dedication extended beyond the gym. He worked closely with stunt coordinators and martial arts experts to perform many of his own stunts, lending authenticity to fight sequences. This physical commitment paid off in scenes where Eddie's fluid, powerful movements reflect the symbiote's influence, blending human determination with alien grace. The actor's transformation extended to costume and makeup, where innovative techniques were employed to depict the gradual merging of human and symbiote. Special prosthetics and bodysuits were crafted to suggest the creature's presence beneath the skin, subtle tendrils, pulsations, and shifting textures that enhanced the visual storytelling. Makeup artists faced the unique challenge of making these effects both believable and dynamic, often adapting designs in response to performance needs and practical considerations on set. One particularly unusual incident during production involved the filming of a night sequence in a remote industrial area. The crew encountered an unexpected wildlife visitor, a curious raccoon that wandered onto the set, causing a brief but memorable disruption. Rather than shooing the animal away, the director and crew embraced the moment, incorporating the raccoon's brief cameo as a quirky touch in the background. This serendipitous event became a beloved anecdote among the cast and crew, highlighting the unpredictability of shooting on location. The film's sound design team also encountered peculiar challenges. Capturing the unique sounds of the symbiote required inventive approaches. Foley artists used a combination of wet, viscous materials, such as gelatin and rubber, to replicate the creature's slippery, amorphous movements. Recording sessions often involved playful experimentation, with artists improvising noises that ranged from subtle whispers to guttural growls. These sessions not only produced essential sound effects but also fostered a creative atmosphere where technicians became performers in their own right. Behind the camera, the director's approach was both meticulous and flexible. Known for encouraging improvisation, he often allowed actors to explore their characters beyond scripted lines, leading to spontaneous moments that enriched the film's texture. On one occasion, an improvised exchange between Eddie and the symbiote, laden with sarcasm and quick wit, was so well received that it was preserved in the final cut, becoming a fan-favorite moment. This openness to creative discovery helped forge the unique tone that blends intensity with humor. Casting choices brought their own stories of serendipity and challenge. The role of Eddie Brock was nearly given to another actor before the final decision, and the lead actor's personal enthusiasm for the project helped solidify his involvement. Supporting actors underwent intensive preparation to authentically portray characters living on the margins of society or entwined in the biotech underworld. Some auditions took place under unusual conditions: outdoor locations with unpredictable weather, remote sets requiring physical endurance, that tested and revealed the actor's commitment.